and the project is called PorePrint. It's a result of research that was done at King's College, and we're hoping to share it with nations who are tackling wildlife crime. So the original research into PorePrint that was done at King's looked at ways to develop finger marks from crime scenes in order to identify those who are involved in wildlife crime. And this started with techniques to develop finger marks from ivory and ivory seizures. There's been lots of successes with that, but the problems that we found is that the countries where these crimes originate don't have fingerprint databases, don't have any forensic capability. So we're trying to provide that for them. The capabilities of forensic investigation are huge when you're tackling any kind of crime type, and it's way overdue that we were able to use those in wildlife crime. It's really simple, anybody can do it in terms of applying a powder to a surface, provided you know what you're trying to develop and that you're using the right technique. And Interpol are sharing their capabilities with us so that we can anonymise the data and hopefully give everybody the confidence that all we're doing is filling a gap until they're ready to do it for themselves. What I want to be able to do for all those nations who are tackling wildlife crime is to give them the opportunity to use an international database. So if they don't have a fingerprint database of their own, we'll encourage them to start making one, to give the results back to those countries, and then having shared the intelligence about where crimes are being committed and who's involved, allow those countries to make decisions about where their resources could best make an impact. I would hope that in 5 years' time, every nation tackling wildlife crime would have their own database, but they would be sharing that data internationally, and that the crime scene to court process would be utilised by every wildlife crime unit and police force who were trying to identify poachers and others who are transporting illegal goods, and to really start to give them a hard time. Countries that don't regularly use fingerprint identification will be nervous about sharing their data with other countries, and whether that's the UK or whether it's their next door neighbour, how could that data be misused? How might it harm them potentially? So I think my next big challenge is to make sure that we can allay all those fears and just be as open and transparent as possible about exactly how the project will run, what the technology will mean for them, encourage countries to do it for themselves, and then they won't have to be trusting us to manage the data for them. There is a world of opportunity out there. Fingerprints are the simplest way to do it. It's the thing that's been around for longest. It's the cheapest to do. So we start there. The skills that we're going to share are transferable. So we'll be enabling forensic investigators to tackle all sorts of crime types. I'm just really hopeful that we'll be able to do something about disrupting the wildlife trade, and that's our main goal.